your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com. I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. Most people know that iodine deficiency has been a crisis around the world. Iodine is key to so many of the body's functions, especially the thyroid. I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating, and the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off super detox special at InfoWarsLife.com. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2. Available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
You got it. This transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
No more fakenews.com is his website. He's John Rappaport. You can read his amazing essays and news articles every day there. We carry him at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com as well. Up on Infowars.com, Obama brings Ebola into America after signing an executive order to detain sick Americans. 2 + 2 = 4, folks. Not 5, like Common Core says. Senator Schumer calls for laws on private drone use. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Demonized drones, but then only let the government have them. Ebola outbreak. Western drug firms have not tried to find vaccines because virus only affects Africans. That's an actual quote out of the UK government. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. It affects everybody equally, folks, on a racial basis. Stuff like HIV is racially discriminatory, if you could use that term, towards Africans. Ebola cover op in a hypnotized world. Again, covert op in a hypnotized world. That's John Rappaport's article. That's just some of the stories up on the main website. But, John, what I know here is this. This is clearly by design. These are decisions they're making to bring live Ebola inside host humans. that can spread it into hospitals that aren't even contained for this. There's all sorts of federal laws. I looked them up. The headline should be, Obama violates federal law, shipping Ebola victims to hospital. I mean, it's on record that stuff like that's got to be in a level 4 facility. They've got those all over the place. They've got them in Atlanta. Why aren't they there? So regardless, they're doing something on purpose. We know it's fear-mongering. We know, I mean, there's a lot of things, but you just mentioned it all earlier, but there's even more to it. Where do you see all this going, and what do you think the next big crisis they may pull, and what are all these crises supposed to lead up to?
Okay, I see a few things. One is, and you mentioned this earlier, they're rushing to sell, billions of dollars worth of a new vaccine that they're now going to test on humans. All of a sudden, all these years they've been saying, well, we got no vaccine for Ebola, no vaccine for Ebola, can't get it. All of a sudden, oh yeah, we can do this. In fact, we'll do it right away. Watch out for that one, baby, because who knows what's going to be in that one, and who knows how toxic that is going to be to people who are then going to fall ill, and then they'll be diagnosed that, no, it wasn't a vaccine, these people actually have Ebola. So to bring people into the U.S. who have been diagnosed with Ebola is definitely a step in that direction. Oh, now we must have a vaccine. We've got to get it there. I'm also looking, because now in West Africa, these areas in Sierra Leone and Liberia and the Republic of Guinea have now been sealed off. So I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop, which is curtailing of goods on boats and giant ships and everything shipped out of Liberia especially, but other places too. No, we can't let any of this stuff out. So now you have total collapse of, commercial trade. You've got all kinds of businesses going under because they run on credit, and now they can't ship goods and they can't pay their bills. And now you've got all this explosion at the border, and I'm expecting to see some stories in the press pretty soon about the North American Union or some version of that, where the people are going to be saying out of Washington, why do we have these borders in the first place? They're absolutely unnecessary, costing us billions of dollars. Let's just have Mexico, Canada, the U.S. as one giant, nation or whatever territory, and that'll solve the whole problem, prosperity for all, just the opposite of the truth, whatever. So those are a few of the things that I'm seeing coming up on the horizon. And all of this is leading to incorporating the U.S. as part of, the globalist world, to say the United States cannot be an isolated nation, cannot handle their own affairs, is deeply in debt, money crisis, jobs crisis, disease crisis, everything. And somehow the way to solve this, which is totally illogical and insane, but, nevertheless, because we live in an interdependent world, that's how it'll all be solved, through the global village. Everybody will be one, et cetera, all that insanity. And that's what we're moving toward here, and that's the new day, the new money system. That's globalism in a nutshell. That's where all of this is going. The whole thing with the borders is completely about destroying the borders and saying they're artificial, they don't exist, there's no reason to pay any attention to them, and that's the globalist message, which is basically the communist message. There is no such thing as private property. There's no such thing as sovereign nation. Unless you're a globalist outside the sovereign nation. Again, that's key what you just said. They don't just get rid of the border. They get rid of the nation and then bring you under their international rule with all these secret boards and treaties, just like the Asia-Pacific trade agreement is secret for 3 years being negotiated. We go under true corporate global dictatorship, not of the corporation that's free market down the street from your house, but of these globalist mega banks who are anti-free market, anti-middle class, anti-prosperity, anti-human. Exactly. And the crisis, to me, that's going to happen, it's already underway to some degree, because nothing is perfect, and people shouldn't think that the globalists have, the perfect plan for totally dominating the world. And that crisis is going to be, you've got all kinds of corporations out there, giant corporations, that need And if they put the world under this globalist system and they expand the kind of poverty and desperation that we've been seeing over the last 10 years or so, they're going to run into one of their own crises, which is that some of those corporations are going to be screaming, we don't have enough consumers. The whole shooting match could go down completely because they've gone too far, too long, and they've made too many people too poor and too desperate to even participate in their controlled economy, at which point the ship just absolutely sinks.
And then global homeland security groups, other crisis management organizations run by the private banking intelligence agencies that have taken over our governments pose as the saviors and consolidate even more control and then launch the next phase of their anti-human operation.
You bet. Absolutely. Because now we have to combat chaos in the streets. Now we have to combat, rebellion cropping up.
And I'm going to be saying put the army out here to stop the rioting because the army will be heroes fighting a crisis the globalists helped create, but nevertheless fighting a real enemy. It's like our military fighting Al-Qaeda. No, they're really fighting real radical scum. So I'm not saying they aren't heroes or it isn't real. The problem is the globalists gave the weapons and the training to the crazies to begin with.
Absolutely. I mean, part of solving a crisis that was created by the globalists to begin with is that it has to be a real crisis. It can't just be in your mind. You really do have to feel threatened. There really does have to be enough violence and chaos so that people will say, help us, save us, bring in the heroes, do whatever you have to do. I mean, it works. Once you take it that far, it works. But the end game goes beyond that. The end game is now you have a lockdown planet. Now you have, global homeland security who is saying we're going to bring order out of chaos. And in the aftermath, yes, you folks are going to have far less freedoms than you did before, but you will have security. We will protect you, and we know that's what you want, right? And they're betting that the majority of people are going to say absolutely.
Well, there you have it with Jon Rappoport, the secrets of the New World Order, the secret of their psyop, the secret of what they want. Before we go to break here, start describing from your deep research over 40 years their mindset. When we come back, we'll do it. And then solutions. We'll finish up today. Didn't take any calls because there was so much to cover, but I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, live with the weekday radio show. We'll take a lot of calls tomorrow, I promise, because I know folks want to chime in on what's happening. But, I mean, this is real. This is not a game. We'll be back. Infowars.com is my site. NoMoreFakeNews.com is Jon Rappoport. Stay with us. I've always believed in nutrition and herbs. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency.
I just received my Male Vitality about 3 days ago, and I must say, that is some good stuff.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality and getting the day started.
It's not just the Super Male Vitality. All the products at InfoWarsLife.com are simply amazing. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered with the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com.